a lost confessional from a victim of her own mistake. She sits downstage left, silently slandering teen mom commercials. If you were to read her bio underneath that faint smile that cages her harmonic insecurities, it would say 16, plans on going to Harvard, becoming a radiologist, and never having kids. Her script calls for her to pick up her phone and dial her cousin. The upbeats of her heart can't seem to match the downbeats of doubt in her soul, so she calls the only one she knows. Unceremoniously entering through center stage is the antagonist of the play. You see, this is the sheep in wolf's clothing, enclosing trust in her claws and crushing it between her teeth. And my, what a big mouth she had. You see, her cousin was the only one she thought she could trust to keep the climax and conclusion of the play to herself. Her health was in the balance. As she drove to the teen clinic to purchase what seemed to be a series of unfortunate events on a stick, she wishes she was better at PEMDAS. That maybe there wouldn't be a plus if she would have had subtracted her self-worth, added meaningless compliments from guys who just wanted to divide her legs and multiply the infinite amount of impossibilities that became realities like a lump forming in the lower half of her abdomen. She walks across tile floors full of ammonia and tears, used to wash broken futures off windows. The four corners of the teen clinic's bathroom stall suffocated her sense of comfort as the wrinkles in her hand caressed that stick like a painful glimpse into her future. She paces upstage and downstage, hoping the director's notes might cause the scene to be scratched from the script, maybe for lack of climatic value or not enough moral statutes, maybe for the avoidance of controversy or what have you, but she couldn't escape. The positive was a crossroad that looked more like a dead end than an option. Suicide and homicide sat on the balance of her morality, and the way things weighed out, she thought she could kill two birds with one stone. Raging crows filled her stomach in replace of the butterflies that she would gladly greet with open arms. Finally annoyed with seeing multicolored condom wrappers laced with meaningless sayings like, "Keep a sock on the pickle," she begins the soliloquy that she's been running through her mind. They never go over this in sex ed, what it feels like when it actually happens, when you're faced with the choice to eliminate a soul whose only crime was being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or bear the load of dropping out of school and filing child support for a child that will never see support from his father because he's the victim of a cycle, a history that constantly repeats itself. Cyclical, cynical scenarios play on the merry-go-round of her life, and no matter how much she fights, suicide and homicide sit on the balance of morality, and the way things weighed out, she thought she could kill two souls with one knife. She is dressed in white, arms stretched. This was a crucifix of a fetus that Jesus must have misplaced. They say he won't give us anything we can't handle, but her sin is about to meet her face to face. She contemplates whether her destiny will be determined by this mistake, as a cold metal reminder enters her. She thinks of how many innocent souls have been lost to the recklessness of selfish teens. She develops a true definition of what worthlessness means, praying over and over again for forgiveness, to let her good deeds be her witness, for God to not persecute her for her ignorance. This is a lost confessional from a victim of her own mistake. Notes crumbled up, left by the dangling feet of thousands of girls whose consciousness incessantly battles them with what is right and wrong. They say a woman can never have justice unless she can consciously choose whether or not she will be a mother. But is this justice?